Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another GPAP webinar session where we will be talking about boosting your LinkedIn presence with content that drives results. So, colleague, just a kind request: kindly share the webinar link and post it to your WhatsApp statuses, inboxes, so that we can have a good number of people in your network whom this information may be very much valuable to. Wouldn't want them to miss out on this information. Thank you very much. Yes, so for those who may not know, GPAP stands for the Graduate Professional Apprenticeship Program. What is GPAP all about? GPAP is a reskilling program providing hands-on experience. Why should you join the program anyway? To be able to get experience, knowledge, and the skills gap to access work. So the program targets career changers, vacancies, university students, graduates, and it happens on a monthly basis. So every month we recruit new people into the program. We have a cohort running every month, and the program runs at Tech Bazaar, Tinda, Kampala. It's a full-time on-job shadowing and experiential in nature. So the program is designed to give you a 2 years experience within a period of 3 months, ideal for people who are looking for jobs and also people who are trying to navigate into the workplace hierarchy. What do we mean here? Maybe you've been stuck at maybe a certain position in your career and you feel like you need to take that next big step, maybe let's say into a managerial type of position. This is the program for you. And of course, the purpose of this program is to help you build a successful professional career through mentorship, coaching, exposure, connection. And as per now, we limit to only 5 people per cohort. History: the program started in 2017. We have had over 130 alumni from 12 cohorts, 90% completion rate, over 87% of people who have gone through the program say the program has been very impactful to them. And in terms of advanced strategy, the program is designed to bridge the industry and academia gap. So this is a brief case study of throughout the 10 years. We did a simple study of the number of people who have graduated over the 10 years. So out of the number of people who have graduated over the 10 years, we got a small sample space of 4 million people and did a small case study that out of 4 million people who have graduated over the 10 years, only 700,000 of them have been able to acquire jobs, which means 3,300,000 people are unemployed. What does this mean? Or what does this mean to us? This simply means that we have so many people who are going through school, going through university, but a lot of them are not being able to land jobs. Now, of course, this is not just made up information. This information is backed up by, you can see, Daily Monitor, The Guardian, New Vision. Yes. So why join the program anyway? To be able to gain employable skills, to get valuable work experience, to be able to get networking opportunities, personal growth, and fast-track employment. So these are just some of the testimonials of people who have been able to go through the program. Alinda Rutaraka says, I didn't know how to market content after creating it. Best Businje says, I have learned so much with the program. I wasn't familiar with accounting softwares. Also here, these are some of the testimonials from people who have been able to watch our YouTube mentorship sessions. Baroda Marvin says, the GPAP YouTube mentorship sessions reminded me that becoming employable is not just about technical skills. Eric Cheyune here says, I have followed your mentorship sessions and found them insightful, especially on practical skills. These are some of the testimonials on our YouTube channel. Please follow the link bit.ly GPAP channel to be able to catch some of the mentorship sessions. So these are some of the people who have also gone through our program. This is the Cohort 3 alumni. So who is this program based for? It's based for students, graduates, and people who are also looking to develop their career. So under GPAP, we have human resource, research and projects, multimedia and production, proposal writing, software engineering, sales and marketing, digital marketing, accounting, and finance. Yes, so these are some of the posters. Please, if you see any of these posters somewhere, feel free to share the posters. So these are some of the quotes from a wise man. Benjamin Franklin tells me, tell me I forget, teach me and I may remember. Robert Greene says apprenticeship is the most natural of learning. It allows skills to be passed down while fostering discipline, humility, and mastery. The best education doesn't always happen in a classroom. Apprenticeships power people to learn by doing, ensuring that knowledge is lived, not just memorized. So as per now, the program is running at 2.5, but we currently have a 40% discount running. So if you sign up today, you'll be able to get that 40% discount. So also, if you're able to recommend this program to someone, that means you'll get a 10% discount. Yes, and also this program definitely is free and it is definitely brought to you by GPAP. So join GPAP today, apply here through this link, and also contact us on these following numbers. Yes, so without any further ado, kindly allow me welcome the presenter of the day, Faith Nasanga. You are very much welcome to share your insights. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, EPA, for that session. At this particular point in time, I want to invite Faith to take us through the next session. And for those who were not with us while we were starting, today's session is going to be about how to maximize your LinkedIn to be able to generate value from your LinkedIn. And as you can see, the presenter of the day is Faith Nasanga, a digital strategist, and she is trying to share her screen right away so that we get started. So Faith, over to you.
Yes, hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your afternoon. Like Ken said, my name is Faith Nasanga, and what I can say is that I can confidently say that this training is going to be a productive session. So we will be talking about how to build your brand on LinkedIn. So before we dive into the real work, so let me start with a quick question. Why do we all have LinkedIn accounts? For those of us who have LinkedIn accounts, why do we have LinkedIn accounts? Or why did you create a LinkedIn account? So you could maybe share your responses in the chat and we could find out why you you have LinkedIn accounts. So from my point of view, I believe most of us here are on LinkedIn and we are trying to use it effectively for different reasons. Yeah. So some of you are trying to build your professional brands. Some of us are trying to connect with professionals in our spaces and also learn from them. And also maybe you're also looking to grow in your career. Maybe you're using LinkedIn to get to your next job opportunity. So we have different reasons as to why we are using LinkedIn. Yeah. So now that maybe we come to understand why maybe some of us use LinkedIn or why some of us are on LinkedIn, we can now go straight into the webinar. So for today's webinar, we shall focus on how to be more intentional about how we show up on LinkedIn. So I'll walk you through how to craft an effective LinkedIn digital strategy, one that helps you create content that positions you clearly, builds your brand, and drives sales. Yeah, because we are looking at maybe you're looking for your next job. Possibly you would want to use LinkedIn to position yourself so that your next employer can find you. And maybe when they look at your LinkedIn account, they're like, wow, I need to hire this person, because employers don't just look at a CV, they go beyond a CV. They want to see, besides what you have written on a CV, what else are you doing? How else are you, what else are you doing out there? So people oftentimes attach their LinkedIn accounts on their on their CVs. So when you have a LinkedIn account, usually use it to build your brand. You post maybe content about the work you're doing, the different activities you're engaged in. So when your employer or your potential employer lands on your LinkedIn account, they're able to see that you fit within their criteria of someone they're looking for in the particular position you are trying to secure, let's say a job. Yeah. So now let's dive into our digital marketing strategy. I hope everyone is seeing my screen. Yeah, so you could maybe, I don't know, say a hi in case you're able to see the screen, so that I believe that people are seeing my screen and I can move forward. Hi. So we can dive into the real work. So I'm going to be presenting a digital marketing strategy, a LinkedIn digital marketing strategy. Yeah, so basically when you're coming up with your digital marketing strategy on LinkedIn, you have to have a general overview, like how effective is this strategy going to be? Like you can see an operational roadmap. This is like your strategy is a guide on how you're going to achieve your goal. Your goal is maybe to position yourself to getting your next job, or maybe you're trying to market a service about maybe your brand or something about that. I don't know, whatever aspect you use LinkedIn for. So you have to have a roadmap, a guide that shows you how you are going to to effectively achieve your intended goal. Because generally this overview gives you a plan on how you're going to reach your goal. So like I have mentioned here, outlines the digital channels you're going to use and the content that you're going to develop that is going to attract and engage and also convert high potential candidates. Yeah, in this situation, I'm using the GPAP LinkedIn strategy. Yeah. So now, like I mentioned, our digital channel is going to be LinkedIn, the one we are going to use. So in your strategy, you have to know which specific channel you're going to LinkedIn, because different channels have different how can I say, how content is perceived. How you create content for LinkedIn is completely different from how you create content for maybe X, maybe Instagram. So you have to be specific. Which channel am I going to build my brand on? So in this situation, we're using LinkedIn. Then you need to have goals. In this situation, we're having a business goal and also content goals. So our business goals here to position GPAP as a go-to program, bridging the gap between education and employment. So because GPAP looks at solving the challenge of unemployment, which is really affecting a lot of graduates. So that is their business goal. So when you're developing your goals for your LinkedIn strategy or to build your brand on LinkedIn, you need to have a business goal in mind. Okay? So for us, our goal here is to bridge the gap between employment and so education and employment. So how are we going to do that? What are our content goals? We shall create content that really aims at bridging this gap. You get, like, we create content about, maybe we are posting things around career tips, something around that. So when a graduate who is struggling with unemployment reads, they connect with this content and they're able to go ahead and apply for our GPAP program. That's one of our goals. Then the next goal is to create awareness to the target audience about the impact of the GPAP program. What impact is the GPAP program doing? Besides us just telling people, apply for the GPAP program, we need to create awareness and we build trust with our potential clients. For example, if they get to know what impact is it doing, how many graduates have joined the GPAP program, how have they benefited? This could be like testimonials from the GPAP participants already in the program, or even our alumni. So that could be our business goal. Then our content goal, bringing about engagement on the content created for our target audience. So when we create awareness about the impact to the target audience, definitely the content the content we shall create shall bring about engagement. People will like, people will repost, people will share this kind of content, and that is how it will go further and attract more people who are aiming at gaining skills so that they can get jobs faster. So in case you're building your goal, so you need to put that in mind. So let me move to the next one. So our objectives here, creating awareness. One of our objectives is to create awareness about the JIPA program to over 1,000 professionals. Like I mentioned, our goal is talking about awareness. When people get to know the impact, so we are looking at having like 1,000 young professionals get to know about the impacts we are doing, the benefits the JIPA program has. Then the lead generations. Now that we have our 1,000 young professionals who have gotten an understanding of what JIPA offers, we would want them to enroll in the program by the end of the first quarter in 2020. So basically, when you're coming up with your strategy on LinkedIn, you need to have clear objectives, and these objectives need to be SMART. SMART meaning specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. I think I can move to the next slide. Then our strategy buckets, how we are going to push our content on social media. Creating awareness meaning producing videos, writing blogs about the JIPA program, maybe an article about the JIPA participants, infographics that explain the different things involved in the JIPA program, newsletters which give our target audience information or updates about what's going on in the program. Then proof, this could be testimonials, program benefits, career development tips. This proof shows that this is what JIPAP is doing. By the time we want you to come, we want to show you so far what we have done. So the proof, the testimonial, when you go on our YouTube channel and watch the testimonials there, trust me, you will be inspired to apply for the JIPA program. Then engagement, you have quizzes, you have polls whereby these are basically for engagement, so that we interact with our audience, we get to know what they think about the program, how they understand, what they don't understand. Yes. So then also conversion. So when you have gotten awareness about the program, you have gotten proof that JIPAP is doing this, you've engaged with us on social media, on LinkedIn, then that way you're inspired to go ahead and apply for the program. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So as you can see on my screen, there's JIPAP webinar feedback poll. So these are some of the polls we are talking about. So when you interact with us, we get to know what you think, basically your feedback can help us best shape on how we can best implement the JIPAP program. Okay, thank you so much. We can move to the next slide. Sorry. All right, before I proceed, please make sure you also participate in that poll and you respond to it, you share with us your feedback. Because we really love to get feedback from you people, because like I mentioned, it shapes how we are implementing the JIPA program. Apologies for that. Yeah, so I think we can proceed. Like I said, awareness, proof, engagement, and conversion. That's how we are. In case you're having your LinkedIn, you need to know how are you going to create awareness about your brand? Are you going to write articles? Are you going to write blogs? Are you going to produce videos for purposes of people getting to understand what message you're trying to communicate? Proof. You have to have proof of the things you're putting out there. You understand? Yeah. So engagement, conversion, yeah. Then you can proceed. So the tools we use here. So the tools we use here when you are actually in your strategy that you need to use, one is you need to have graphics design tools like Canva, like Adobe, like the Adobe Suite, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Premiere Pro. This helps you when you're designing graphics, editing video, designing graphics basically. Then you also have the video editing tools for maybe things like CapCut and Adobe Premiere Pro. And any other tools besides these. Then the tools for writing. You could use the support of AI and Grammarly for clear grammar. Then schedulers. We have something called content creation. So this helps you in scheduling your content effectively, so that you don't have to rush in case you have to put out content on Monday, you prepare for that content on Monday. No, these schedulers help you in scheduling your content so that you don't have to be on panic mode. I've not yet sent out this content or something like that. So you can schedule earlier, and then maybe later on in that particular time, the content is sent out. So these schedulers are Buffer and Hootsuite. Then we have also something called analytic tools. So LinkedIn Analytics. So the LinkedIn Analytics helps you track how you are performing on LinkedIn, which post is creating more engagement, how many likes when I post a video, how many likes do I get when I post a picture. Like you compare and contrast, like which post has more engagement here. Thank you so much. So we can proceed to the next slide. So the engagement tips. So create engaging content. For your content to be engaging, your visuals have to be eye-catching and they have to be of high-quality images. You have to write compelling captions with a clear message. The message has to be very clear. Then also include interactive polls, quizzes, like I mentioned, for engagement. Ask questions to your audience so that they're able to interact with you. Then also customize outreach messages. Encourage audience interactions. Ask questions in the captions, reply to the DMs to build trust and relationships. Okay, then finally, our key performance indicators, our analytics, the engagement rates, how many likes, shares, and comments do you get, repost, saves, impressions, how many people see your content, click-through rates, do people click through the links you put on your social? Because you need to find out, if I put a link, are people clicking on it? How many are clicking on this link? Then conversion rates, is what I'm posting leading to where I want to be? For example, GPAP, is what we are posting leading to conversion? Are people applying for the program? Are people enrolling for the program? In your scenario, maybe someone who is positioning themselves to look for a job. Are you attracting potential employers? Are people inboxing you, telling you, can we meet? How do you do this service? How are you? So, like, how much do you charge for these services? Something like that. So that is for measuring analytics. Then adjusting strategy based on data. Identifying top performing content and creating similar posts. So for example, maybe you've been writing articles and you see your content. When you write articles, your content is more, like you get more engagement compared maybe when you put a picture. So you need to leverage on articles. It doesn't mean that you stop posting maybe the images, but you need to maximize using articles so that you grow your audience and people usually continuously engage with your content. Experience with different posting times. Change, maybe initially you've been posting in the morning, try posting in the afternoon, something like that, depending on how people engage with your content. Yes, so improve based on the audience feedback. The feedback people share, you also look through it, you revise it and see how effective it is so that your content can be productive to them. So I think I am winding up, and then as I summarize, your strategy has to educate, prove, and prove, engage, and convert. Yes, educate, prove. Educate is creating awareness. Prove is the proof, the videos, the content you're putting out there, the articles, the blogs. Then engage is when people are liking your posts. And then conversion is when people are now calling you for maybe that for a meeting or maybe for their service. Yes. So that is it from me. Thank you so much, everyone. And questions are very much welcome. Thank you.
Anyone with questions? If you have a question, kindly you can raise up your hand and then you ask your question. Yes, Grace.
Hello team. Hello Faith. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, so for me, my question about LinkedIn. is I've heard you talked about maybe making changes in case you've been making posts maybe in the morning and you feel like maybe if you posted later in the day it would be ideal. But for me, my issue with LinkedIn is how do you tap into your network to get them maybe having conversations with your post, or maybe I don't know that I'm calling them conversations, but making comments on your post, because sometimes even people that you know or even people you feel like resonate with what you're putting up, for some reason will just not comment, and somehow it will just be there. It's sort of discouraging, because I even see it on many company pages. They will put up a post, but still the comments will be less. So if you could advise on how to boost the engagement with your posts, I would be glad. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace, for that question. It's a very brilliant question. I think what I can say for now is that when you post and people are not engaging with the comment, first of all, it also matters how many followers do you have. That's number one. How many followers do you have? If you have a very low following, chances are high that the engagement rate will be very low. And also another thing, how often do you post on social media? Consistency is very, very key, because if you rarely post on social media, like maybe you post like once in 3 months, like really, people rarely interact with your content. People are going to find themselves not really engaging with your content because you're not a consistent person. But if you consistently post and post and post, when you compare the post, let's say you posted on 1st January, if you're a consistent poster, let's say you post every day, by let's say first March, your engagement rate increases based on how consistent you're posting your content and how your followers are growing, and also what kind of information you're giving out to your audience, your target audience. Is it the right information? You may be giving them the wrong information and they cannot engage or interact with it. Thank you so much, Grace. I think I've answered you. I don't know the pin.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Faith. I just have one brief follow-up question. Like many times, the call to actions on LinkedIn, you find that either repeated or sometimes. So my question is it better maybe to make a shorter post that people can easily maybe read and be able to interact, or maybe okay, in addition to what you've already said, consistent posting and all, how else can we maybe is that maybe the length also of the information something to consider? Thank you.
Yeah. Also, again, it also comes again to the kind of content you're putting out there. If you feel like the content is not, like, sometimes limited content doesn't communicate well, you understand? So it also depends. Again, another thing, you could also change the format in how you're sending out this content. In case you've been maybe putting an article, like it's long, and you realize that maybe my people are not engaging with this kind of content, try and change it to, let's say, a video, so that people try and maybe do an infographic, so that maybe people can interact with the visuals and enjoy. So you have to keep changing so that you eventually understand what your audience really wants. That way they'll be in position to engage with your content. I don't know if I've answered you very well, but yeah.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Okay, so any other person with questions, please feel free to unmute and speak.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My question is about it's still in line with content and then making the with the content. However, I'm a bit curious on inquisitive on the type of profile that you're putting up the content on. So could we maybe, could we have a glimpse of the kind of profile that one would, the format of profile, and then probably the basic information, the bare minimum that should include in a profile, and then there's also the profile dictate the kind of content that you're going to put out, because I'm not very certain about that, but I feel the two must have a relationship for it to work out well.
First, rephrase your question again. You've been a little bit low.
Mine is about the kind of profile that you're putting up the content on.
The profile, like the LinkedIn profile, I don't.
Yes, the LinkedIn profile.
Mm.
Because it's on that you're putting up the content. So I would maybe want to know the structure, the layout of the profile that would be relevant to a specific content, and you need to customize your profile. Of course, the profile is always general. You need to customize it to the kind of content that you're going to be putting out. Because if your profile is maybe talking about your agricultural journey, then does it mean that your content that you'll be putting out should be agriculture related, or you can go overboard, then you're in agriculture and you're maybe posting manufacturing or processing? So I just want to get a clear glimpse of that. How does the profile link to the content that you're going to be putting out for engagement?
Okay. So basically, basically your profile, I think, talks about your brand. Like you summarize your entire brand. I don't know whether I'm trying to communicate very well. Maybe in your profile you talk about your background as an agricultural scientist, can I say? Yes, like you basically give us a background on what you do as your, let's say, your company in agriculture. You understand? Then when it comes to content, basically you have to be very clear again with the message. If your profile talks about agriculture, your content has to rhyme with agriculture, because you'll be confusing your audience. If, let's say, today you've decided, let's say your profile is talking about agriculture, but then when I swipe through your content and I'm seeing things to do with maybe fashion, a post is about fashion, then another post is about maybe people dancing. So the content does not communicate well. You're confusing your target audience, you understand? So you need to be very clear in the content you're putting out there. It has to streamline with your profile. You understand? Yeah, so that's how I can best explain it to you. There any other question?
Colleagues, thank you very much for making the time to attend today's mentorship session, GPAP mentorship session. I request that we respond to the feedback poll that is reflecting on our screens as one way for us to improve on how we shall be delivering these sessions. We had held them for the last 3 months, but we have a lot of content already on our YouTube. If you're a young professional and you want to improve or position yourself as one of the best professionals, that is a very good starting point. But of course, it's just the starting point. We would encourage that if you get into the program now, you even position yourself to actually being competitive. It's very, very critical that you follow through these sessions. That is if you can't also subscribe for the program. Next week, we shall be having a session where we will be talking about still LinkedIn, but from the side of not a business, but as an individual, how to have a fully optimized LinkedIn profile, just like Kakala just asked. And that should now position you as an individual on how you can create a very competitive profile. So lastly, and as I conclude, these sessions are going to be running every Wednesday at 1 p.m. We are going to change the time from 1:30 to 1, so that we are able to be finishing them much earlier. The plan was, as you are on your lunch time, you are also learning, you know. So the time is going to be pulled back to start at exactly 1 p.m. and then they end within that same lunch hour session or period. So if you have not responded to the survey on your screen, kindly do so by selecting the answer. The first question is, did you find this training helpful to you? As like I said, this was for about you who is trying to start a business, run a business profile on LinkedIn. Next week, it will be about an individual, and it will be delivered by another expert. So let us know how relevant this session was for you. I see only one person has responded to the survey. The second question is, how would you use these insights shared today? You can share your perspective on that. It doesn't have to be really long, just 2-3 words or 4. Then the next question is, did you invite someone for this training? It is a yes and yes and no. It is okay for you to tell us whether you would indeed invite someone or not. Every answer is correct. It is in the eyes of the beholder that we eventually get to tell. Then number 4 is, do you feel one or two of or more of your friends would find value into this training? If yes, send them this link to get. So it is this link that they will use to get the recording of today's session. So with that said and done, I will end the poll and then I will share the results for us to see what the 3 people that have, responded to this survey, what they are saying. 3 people say that they found this session helpful. How to use the insights, I think the details below would give us maybe what each of you is saying, but that one maybe we will share it next time. And then, did you invite someone for this training? Yeah, 2 people are saying yes, they did, and 1 person did not. It is still okay. Next time, maybe you will invite someone. Do you feel 1 or 2 more of your friends would find this training relevant? All the 3 people say yes. So those are interesting sessions. And we are glad that you joined us today. We would say thank you very much for joining us, and hope to see you next week, same time, this time at 1 p.m. We will be bringing to you a next session on LinkedIn profile setup, but you will also be receiving a meeting reminder on your various emails. With that, I want to call this session to close. Thank you very much, Faith, for taking us through LinkedIn and for allowing me to share your experience and knowledge. We hope we will put into practice or into use the sessions shared. And I remind you, this session is going to be uploaded on YouTube for you to be able to revise it should you want to do so. Other than that, I wish you the rest of the day to be beautiful. Catch you next week.